Hello, I'd like to explain for you the term ISO in photography. Now, the word ISO originally came from Switzerland, and it means, well, it's abbreviation for International Organization for Standardization, which is quite a big whole, big three words combined together, and so they turned it into an abbreviation. So originally came from Switzerland and was used in film cameras. Well, it doesn't really mean the same term, but now ISO is used differently. The word ISO is pronounced ISO, not an ISO, but ISO. That is the pronunciation. And let's get started with an explanation of ISO. Now, ISO means like the amount of how sensitive your camera is to light. Now, so you can crank up the ISO, and what happened is your image is going to be a lot brighter. So I'm going to take two images, exactly the same spot. Now, this time I'm going to crank the ISO all the way down to 80. Here's a two image, low ISO, high ISO. You can't really see the difference, but there is a big difference. Here you go, low ISO, this is low ISO, this is high ISO, and as you see, the white is really popping because it is extremely bright compared to this is really dark, really bright. Now, so it determines how bright your image is. That's one thing. Now, there's more than just determining how bright your image is. Also, ISO controls how much noise you're gonna get in the image. So, as you see, I just took the image in two ISOs. So here's with the low ISO, very clear, very crisp and clear. Again, as you see, very clear. You can almost read that, right? You can read that. But here's with the high ISO. You see that noise and stuff you get around here? You see that? You don't get that on a low ISO. See that? You don't get that at all. So ISO basically also controls how much noise is in your image, or how grainy is the image, or how ugly it looks. The quality tends to drop when you crank up your ISO. So remember that. Now, the other thing that ISO controls is shutter speed. I'll have to quickly show you. It also controls shutter speed. So I'm going to take an image with a low ISO. The shutter speed is 50 of a second. Now I'm going to crank the ISO up to 1600, which is the highest in this camera, and click it. Now say it's 3/20th of a second. As you see, the shutter speed changed dramatically. Now on a high-end camera like a DSLR or like a larger sensor cameras like APS-C, full frame, medium format, large format cameras, the ISO is dramatically increased and the performance is a lot better. Like the camera I'm using to record this video is the SLR, and it provides extremely good ISO performance, better than cameras with small sensors like this one. Now, so that's all I have to say for ISO. But I'm not done yet. I have a few other things, so that's the explanation of ISO. Now, for the last 30 seconds or so, I explained to you how to put ISO into use. ISO can be used when you're taking nighttime photography, or ISO can be used when you're taking photos, say like you're using a high aperture of 2.8 or a wide open aperture of 2.8, which if high aperture 2.8, and if that's too bright, you can drop that ISO to 80. From there on, you're gonna get a lot darker image. Now, you can, if say I'm going to crank up my exposure to the lowest as possible. If it's too dark, no problem, increase the ISO. So that's how you put ISO to test. Thank you guys for watching.